He cuts back to the left and cuts to the right. He's got a little wall working on this far side. If he can get there, he does. He's past the 30-yard line, breaks another tackle, and out to the 38-yard line. An excellent run back by Shane Blackburn. And the Friona Chieftains will have excellent field position here to start the game. First down and 10.
I can't tell, Clint, if that's a flag back there on the field. There's something.
Oh, it is. Looks like we may have a holding or a clip. I saw that blocker out there on the far side, but I didn't see anything really illegal about what he was doing. Of course, that may be the bias factor again.
He does have the handcuffs out. That must have been illegal.
Either a holding or a blocking in the back. Kind of unusual. Last week's game, I think the whole game we only had maybe 3 whole penalties. Here we have a penalty on the very first play. So instead of having the ball at the 38-yard line, we're back to the 10-yard line. So we lost 30 yards. 30-yard penalty.
Does make for a more impressive first drive, though.
Well, a 90-yard drive is a lot more impressive than a 60 on the opening series of the game. But the Chieftains will have it first down at 10. Kyle Grimsley at quarterback. He's under center. Angel Vega is split wide. David Shelby is in the slot. Andy Kendrick in motion. Keeper by Kyle Grimsley. Right up the middle, he's got about 7 or 8 yards, and he still won't go down. Takes about 4 Bearcats to get him down, Mike, and that's a good sign. Gain of about 5. It'll be second down and 5. We're just underway from Sweetwater, Texas, Mustang Stadium for today's state quarterfinal game between the Friona Chieftains and the Aledo Bearcats. Is it Aledo or Lido? I don't know.
Whatever you want to call them.
The Bearcats. Second down and 5 for the Chieftains. David Shelby and Angel Vega both split wide to each side. 2 Chieftains in the backfield. It's the option play again, this time given to Daniel Cravis right at the middle, and he stopped for about a gain of 1. That play read well by the Bearcats.
Looks like the way they're splitting their defensive lineup, it looks like there is a hole there, but they did a good job. Like they said, they're quick, and they closed the gap in a hurry.
It was like we mentioned last week, you need to run that run up the middle just to keep them honest, Mike, so when you come back with the option later in the game, they'll bite on that first handoff. So it's third down and 4. Friona's first possession of the game. Ball at their 16-yard line. It's a late handoff to Andy Kendrick. He'll hit out the first down. Gain of about 5. Just over the 20-yard line. It'll be first down and 10.
Matter of fact, the last 2 yards he picked up were through the air. Somebody cut his legs out, and he...
that was the option run pass?
He absolutely flew over the first down marker.
But he didn't get hit the line of scrimmage, Mike. That's a good sign. He did get past the initial line of scrimmage before Bearcat got a hand on him. So it's first down and 10 for the Chieftains at their 21-yard line. 10-17 to go here in the first quarter. First possession for any team. Hand off to David Shelby, and he's cut down for a loss of about 2 on the outside. That's where that speed possibly can come into effect here. Both teams have the speed. And a good play there by the cornerback. So the Chieftains will have about second down and 12. Another thing, too, that Coach Morton said is Aledo has pretty quick secondary, too, and they're not very big, but they all look like they can run pretty good, and they'll be pretty fast. We have Wade Reeve and David Shelby both lined up here to the near side on second down and 12. It's an option to the near side. Pitch back to Andy Kendrick. He has some running room. Daniel Cravis has the block. He's outside to the 30-yard line. Be close for a first down, Mike. I believe will be short by half a yard. That play was set up nicely and had Daniel Cravis out here, and he made a good block, Mike.
It really was. He followed his blocker perfectly, kind of tucked in behind him and just waited for him to go ahead and see which guy he was going to go after, then tucked in behind him.
Actually, after the mark, it'll be third down and 1 or 2, and this has really not been too much of a problem for the Chieftains this year. Hopefully this game will be no different. Chieftains have 3 running backs in the backfield. Kyle Grimsley up on the center. Ball is at the 29-yard line. Taking handoff to David Shelby. He'll have the first down. He's not hit till he gets into the secondary, Mike, and it looks like our offensive line is already starting to move guys off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a big hole right there. I could have ran through that one.
Well, I don't know if it's that big. You could have got the first down, maybe. So the Chieftains have the ball now out at the 37, almost where we had that original kickoff back to before the penalty. 8:46 to go here in the first quarter. Chieftains up to the line of scrimmage. We got guys split on both sides, Angel Vega and Quinn Ellis. Kyle Grimsley under center. Andy Kendrick in motion. It's going to be a pass. Angel Vega's open over the head of the Aledo Bearcat. Angel breaks to the inside. We got a face mask penalty. We're going to have a touchdown. Angel Vega!
Well, I tell you what, you talk about some guys that have made big plays. We're talking about Aledo's quarterback a while ago. Kyle and Angel have hooked up for some unbelievable plays this year.
And we've been here to call them, and we've enjoyed every bit of it. That comes with 8:22 to go in the first quarter. That penalty was a face mask. Angel got behind his guy. Then when he broke it to the inside, the Bearcat reached for the jersey, but all he grabbed was face mask. Luckily, Angel got away from him, and with his speed, broke it back to the inside and made the touchdown. Rest is history. That's just what we needed, Mike, was to get on them early, score early,
score often.
Angel Vega set for the extra point. Chieftains are deciding on their original setup. We're going to go for two or kick it. They were waiting for the officials to whistle the play to begin, the clock to run.
Yeah, he was standing over the ball. We couldn't start the play.
Thought he was asleep. So Angel Vega will set for the extra point. Last week, our first snap wasn't too good. This week, it's a little bit better, and the kick is up. The kick is good. So with 8:22 to go in the first quarter, the Chieftains take their first possession, 90-yard drive with the capper with the 60-yard pass from Kyle Grimsley to Angel Vega. Your score is Friona 7, the Bearcats 0. We'll be right back after this timeout. Chiefs set to kick off. Mario Pena will kick off. We're back here at Mustang Stadium in beautiful downtown Sweetwater, Texas, where the Chieftains have broke on top 7-0. Mario Pena set to kick off for the Chieftains. The kick is high and short. It could be recovered for an onside, though it's caught by the Bearcats at about the 35-yard line. I don't know if that was planned, Mike, or just got his foot underneath it a little bit, but it had a good hang time.
Like you said, one of the Chiefs nearly could have got underneath that
We
ball.
played a game there at Sanford Fritch, our last regular season game, where we had a kickoff like that, and Sanford Fritch just sat there and let the ball hit the ground.
Well, there's no way for a return on that. Also, the guy caught it, and, of course, the Chieftain was right there to stick him.
That
so
might have been the plan.
No return.
So it'll be first down and 10, the Bearcats' first time with the football, starting at their 34-yard line. We'll run down the Chieftain defensive starters here again in a minute. Handoff at the middle, kept by the quarterback. He breaks through two guys. He's down about the Chieftain 46-yard line, Mike, and that was just a keeper right up the middle, just a fake to the first man through, and that was just a quarterback draw.
A lot like one of the plays that we run with Kyle. Steps back, looks like he'll run the option and does a counter and goes back the other direction. So that kind of shows his speed.
One of the early keys of the game was the quarterback, and that's going to be the man to stop here for the Chieftain defense, the fast quarterback. So the Bearcats have first down at the Chieftain 46-yard line. They have three wide receivers. Quarterback up to the line. It's a straight drop back pass. It's going to be a slant pattern. It's kind of a wobbly duck, almost intercepted by Shane Blackburn. That would have been nice, Mike, if you could have handled that.
That was not a pretty pass. That was open season on ducks right there. That was a real wobbler.
Shane was going for the tackle, and it was so wobbly and actually kind of veered off toward him, and he had his mitts on it, almost had a chance, but I think he was surprised as much as anybody that it was that bad of a pass.
Receiver had to dive for it and barely tipped it.
So that's the incompletion. That brings up second down and 10 for the Bearcats. Quarterback under center. He hands off to the second back through, and Quint Ellis in on the tackle also. Sorry, Mike, I had to cough. Also, number 51, Santiago, was in there early on the backside.
He was pretty lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Matter of fact, he might have, looks like maybe lost a half a yard.
That play was really slow in developing, too. The Chieftains had plenty of time to get across the line of scrimmage and make a play, and it's third down and 10. So it's going to be a passing situation or the quarterback run again like they did earlier on the draw. Two wide receivers for the Bearcats. One running back in the backfield. It's a straight drop back pass. He rolls a little bit. He's being rushed. Pass is off the fingertips and out of bounds. That'll bring up fourth down and punting situation, Mike. And he was wide open. I don't know if the pass just sailed on him a little bit or the receiver mistimed his jump just a little bit.
Looks like he had to throw that a little bit quicker than what he would like to. He was definitely getting some pressure, and as soon as he let go of it, looks like he was put to the ground.
And that pressure was in the form of number 60. Eloy Trejo had pressure on the quarterback and forced him to throw it early. Punting formation for the Bearcats, but we do have two wide receivers on each side, so the Chieftains will. And he does punt it. He punts it out to the corner. Angel Vega lifted head. It's going to go through the end zone And the Chieftains will have first down and 10 at their 20-yard line. We have 7:06 to go in the first quarter with the Chieftains on top, 7-0. This is Friona Chieftains football. We'll be right back after this 30-second break. First down and 10 for the Chieftains. Handoff off the middle to Daniel Cuevas. He breaks through the line, Mike, and gets a gain of about 8. And that play right there sets up the rest of our offense. If we can get that play going and make them use resources. What's the word?
Well said.
I think use resources to tackle Daniel, and they have to use 2 or 3 guys to make sure he doesn't get the big gain. We're going to break some to the outside.
That's right. You could tell they didn't know who in the world that was going to go to. They had guys going every which direction, and there was a big hole.
2 wide receivers for the Chieftains on second down and 2. Kyle under center, like you maybe calling it audible. Andy Kendrick in motion. There's a fumble on the play. Kyle falls on it, actually gains a yard.
Looks like a bad connection there on the snap. I couldn't tell if he pulled out a little quick or they just didn't make the connection, but thank goodness there was Kyle right there to jump back on top of it.
And you want to fall on that fumble. You don't want to take any chances, but he had a big hole. If he could have picked it up, would have made 5 yards.
Yeah, he did a good job. He knew he had to get back on that ball.
You don't want to do nothing cute. Just want to get on it and have our third down and 1, which is, like we said before, has been a really good play for the Chieftains, 3rd and 1 or 2. I don't know if we've really been stopped much this year on this 3rd and 1 or 2. Chieftains up to the line of scrimmage. Angel Vega split here to the near side. We have a
delay of game.
A delay of game penalty on the Chieftains, and that hurt, Mike. We just had 3rd down and half a yard. It didn't seem like the play was any slower coming in from the sidelines as usual. I don't quite understand that.
Now, we do have a 25-second clock, it looks like, on both ends of the field, so looked like Kyle was maybe checking off and calling an audible, and it just didn't quite get it snapped in time.
So the Chieftains will have 3rd and 6, which is a little bit tougher to convert than the 3rd and 1. Andy Kendrick and Angel Vega split wide. Kyle under center. It's going to be an option to the far side. Kyle keeps it, breaks it up, but he's going to be hit. Ooh, at the second effort, it's going to be, I believe, about a half a football short, Mike. That's unfortunate because we could have kept that drive going, but the penalty is going to be costly, and the Chieftains are going to be forced to punt. 4th down at about 1 for the Chieftains. 5:15 to go in the first quarter. Chieftains on top 7-0. So the Chieftains' first drive goes for a touchdown, but the second one bogs down after the penalty. And Angel Vega is set to do the punting chores. He will be punting with the wind. Into the wind. But it's about died down now. Not much movement at all on the flags. The end-over-end punt takes a Chieftain bounce. It will be returned by the Bearcats, by the quarterback, no less. And he gets it back up to the Aledo 45-yard line. They'll have first down and 10.
But he came up limping a little bit.
He hurt his ankle there a little bit. We'll keep it here on the field. We have a quick change over here, and the Bearcats will have their second possession.
Well, I tell you what, you just saw this entire crowd over here. Aledo just take a big, deep breath because that would really hurt them for him to go out.
Yeah, because he's one of their main stars. So the Aledo gets good field position again after the punt. Up to the line of scrimmage, the Bearcats have 2 wide receivers. Quick pitch to the far side. You got the running room, but nice early tackle and execution by number 30, Luis Ramirez. He read that play all the way, Mike, and for about a yard loss or no gain.
Yeah, he shut that down in a hurry. That play took a while to develop, and of course, with our speed, we got there.
They haven't really run any just straight fast hitters. All been kind of that delayed handoff to the off tackle, and the Chieftains were right there for the stop, and it is a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11 for the Bearcats. Go to the line of scrimmage with 2 wide receivers. They have 1 guy in the backfield, 1 guy in the slot. Snap, it's a straight drawback pass. Quinn Ellis in early, but the quarterback got away, but there's pressure on the other side, and it's well overthrown or underthrown. There was 2 receivers out there, but Quinn Ellis and also Luis Ramirez were both in and had a bead on the quarterback. He's lucky to get that off.
Just the instant he threw it, he got hit full extension. And he's not limping like he was a while ago, but I guarantee he knows that we're around.
And Quint, right off the bat, he was untouched. Nobody blocked him on this backside. It was kind of a half roll to the far side, and he just went untouched and had a direct line, and also Lewis was in there too. 3rd down 11, we have 3 wide receivers for the Bearcats. Chieftains roll their secondary over and have a rollout here to the near side. I don't see anybody open. He's got pressure, throws across the middle. It's caught, and it's going to be a first down. Andy Kendrick was right there, Mike. I don't see how he caught that.
Matter of fact, it looked like Andy might have come down with it, but Ty goes to the offense. That was well defensed.
We had Chieftains all over him. He just had a little bit too long a time to throw, even though we had Chieftains almost ready there for the sack. But it'll be first down and 10 for the Bearcats, once again in Chieftain territory at the 44-yard line. 3:52 to go in the first quarter. Chieftains on top 7-0. Bearcats have a first down and 10, 2 wide receivers. Quarterback was still limping just a little bit. It's a handoff to the far side. It was strung to the outside. Got a couple guys out there, though, but he breaks through. But Andy Kidd fumble. Picked up by the Chieftains. It's going to be a touchdown. He was not down. They're calling the play down. Oh, we got ripped off.
I think so,
we got
too.
ripped off big time. That's a touchdown for the Chieftains. He was not down. He wasn't even close to being down. Boy, that is poor officiating. That's just unbelievable. Andy Kendrick had him by the back of the jersey, and he wasn't even down, and he fumbled. Chieftains picked it up. I believe it was Aaron King, and would have had a sure touchdown. That was just a tremendously bad call by the official on that far side. It's hard to tell on the radio, because you can't see it, but the Aledo Bearcat was definitely not on the ground. Didn't even have a knee close to the ground. So they bring up second down and 6 for the Bearcats. They dodge a bullet big time. Hand off again to that far side, and they had some running room. Thought they may have the first down. Sure hate to see that, Mike, that something that happens in a game has to be affected by the officials or bad officiating, and that right there was very bad.
Right. If he was down, like I said, with a knee and then dropped it, but he was going down, but he was by no means down when the ball came out.
That was just an unbelievably poor call here early in the game, which would have gave the Chieftains a 14-0 lead, whereas now they lead 7-0. And we have 2:47 to go here in the first quarter. Bearcats with the first down at the Chieftains' 35-yard line. 3 wide receivers for the Bearcats. Quarterback with the option roll. He pitches out this time. He has some running room. Breaks it inside. Breaks back to the outside. It's going to be down inside the 15-yard line. So the Bearcats will have first down and 10 about the 12-yard line instead of the Chieftains going the other way, fixing to kick off. Looks like they're going to mark it about the 12. They will have a chance of getting a first down at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, we're so used to playing a lot bigger team that seems to move a lot slower. The Aledo team is fast. There's no doubt about it. They broke outside just then, had some good blocking.
Seems like they're getting a little more running room now on that outside, whereas earlier we had them kind of bottled up. 2 wide receivers for the Bearcats. That handoff off the far side, this time cut back inside, Mike. It looks like fumble again. The Chieftains have it. This time the Chieftains will have it.
Got that. Yes.
I can't see who was on the tackle there, who made it. Quinn Ellis was in there. Like he might have came up with the fumble recovery. I don't know who exactly caused it.
Oh, that was big. I tell you what, that somebody played that well. They broke off their tackle or off of the block, and he was kind of going down, and they stripped the ball out, and the Chief was right there to jump on it.
Mike, that was the same play they ran, but they ran it to the near side a while ago when he picked up that 20-yard gain. It's the same exact play, just to the opposite side. But that time the Chieftains were right there, and he made him cut it back inside, and we're set for another 90-yard drive like we did the opening kickoff. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Chieftains on top 7-0. Kyle Grimsley under center. We had the option play kept by Kyle. He's got some running room, breaks 2 tackles out to about the 14-yard line. Gain of about 5 for Kyle. And so far, Mike, they hadn't been able to stop us. The only thing that stopped us was that penalty a while ago for delay of game.
That's right.
Other than that, we've been unstoppable. So we'll have second down and about 5 for the Chieftains. Chieftains going from right to left for the remainder here of the first quarter, just over a minute and a half to go. Chieftains with 3 guys in the backfield. 1 split out. Angel Vega here splits to the near side. Handoff to Andy Kendrick, breaks up the inside, breaks 1 tackle to the outside. He'll have the first down. Mike, and that was 1 tackle away from a 80-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those this year, and I wouldn't doubt if we'll see another one from Andy today.
Minute 18 to go in the game. Chieftains first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Chieftains, well, the Bearcats dodged the bullet. We had a touchdown on the fumble recovery. They got it back, ran it down close, and we dodged the bullet by getting a second fumble. And now we'll see if we can march it down the field. 2 wide receivers, Quinn Ellis See, that's Wade Reber. No, it's Angel Vega to the far side. David Shelby in motion. Hand off at the middle. Daniel Cuevas. He's got 5'10". Almost the first down, Mike. I believe right at the stick will be about a half a football short. And he almost broke that for a touchdown. Boy, that offensive line is really coming together and pounding it on him here at the end of the first quarter. We're down to 44 seconds. Play coming in from Angel Vega from the sidelines. Chieftains will have second down and short. Mike, this is the time you may either want to go get the first down or maybe try to fool him with another pass.
Yeah, we've seen some big plays on second and short this year.
3 backs in the backfield. This time be a keeper by Kyle Grimsley. Breaks to the outside. He's got room down the side. He's tackled and goes flying in the air about the 39-yard line. And we're down to 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. That's another one of those in the air. We was mentioned earlier that Andy Kendrick had one of them where you're up in the air. You get extra points for how high you can jump in the air.
Well, you know, style points come into play. That was, I gave that a 10.
Kyle may have been just a little winded after that run for the first down. And it looks like the Chieftains are going to let the clock run down here for the first quarter. I believe they are. The clock is down. We're down to 2 seconds, and that's the end of the first quarter, a fast-paced first quarter. With your score, the Friona Chieftains 7, the Aledo Bearcats 0. This is Friona Chieftain football. Start up. Brown grass country. Chieftains have a first down and 10 at their 38-yard line. They lead 7-0. This is our third possession. Inside handoff to Andy Kendrick, gain of about a half a yard. That time well played by the Bearcats, unfortunately. I guess we'll have to give them a play here or there. Mike, do we have to?
It's really about the first time that they've stopped us for a no-gainer.
They hit at the line of scrimmage. It is no gain. It'll be second down and 10. Chieftains up with 2 wide receivers to the far side. Quinn Ellis, Angel Vega. Andy Kendrick in the near slot. David Shelby in motion. The option play. Daniel Cuevas breaks 2 tackles, breaks up the middle. He's at the 50, down to the 40. He's got a good break. Grabbed down by the jersey. Oh, man. That was close to being a touchdown by Daniel Cuevas.
Fantastic run. About looks like about a 30-yard gain.
And I break it right up the middle. That was the first initial read on the option play is to the fullback. And Daniel had clearance sailing right up the middle. He followed his blockers really good, but a Bearcat got a claw on the jersey.
Matter of fact, that was run so well that they had no idea that Daniel had the ball. They were still going after Kyle to work on the option.
That play was a fast hitter, and once again, I believe the Chieftain offensive line matches up really well against the Bearcat defense, and it looks like we can pound the ball at them. Quinn Ellis, Angel Vega here to the near side this time. First down and 10 at the Bearcat 35-yard line. David Shelby in motion. It's going to be a pass, but there's early pressure by the Bearcats, and Kyle Grimsley is sacked for a loss of about 6 yards. Mike, that might have looked like a busted play, too, because Kyle was looking to the far side of the field, and there was no receivers over there.
Really was, and by the time he turned around, he had a defender right on him and grabbed him around the ankles and took him down.
Which makes you think that was the back side of the play. I don't know if that was a reverse option, and Kyle just didn't get back around to the near side, but there was no receivers on that far side to throw to, even if he would have had time. So that's a loss of about 6. That'll bring up second down to 16 for the Chieftains. We'll have probably 3 plays to try to get it back. Option play is fumbled and recovered by the Bearcats at the Bearcat 44-yard line. Mike, and it looks like the last 2 plays, we just weren't in sync.
Yeah, it looked like the pressure again got to Kyle. About the time he started to let go of the ball, he was hit and put it on the turf, and one of the Aledo Bobcats jumped on it right off the bat.
I don't know if they were doing some more blitzing or whatever, but they got early pressure on Kyle those last 2 plays, and they'll take over at their own 44-yard line. 10-19 to go here in the first half. Chieftains on top 7-0. And that was a really good-looking drive, Mike. It seemed like those 2 plays, once we got past midfield, the Cuevas run. Quarterback, another keeper, right like we had the first play of the game, gain of about 7 for the quarterback, just a straight draw up the middle of the field. And we're looking just a little rusty, Mike, after that first opening touchdown. That offense, we had a good drive, and Daniel got us down there on that good 30-yard run, but we looked a little rusty on the next 2 plays. See if we can get that back in shape the next time we get the football. Second down and 2 for the Bearcats at the Chieftains 58-yard line. Bearcats going right to left. Chieftains defending the goal on the left side, south to north. Aledo with 2 wide receivers, 1 guy in the backfield. Inside Handoff, but the Chieftains read it well. He bounces off one tackle, but he's going to have a loss of about 3 yards. Mike, and both teams, that play is going nowhere.
Yeah, their fullback that had that just then is slightly slow compared to everybody else.
Also, I believe their guard and tackle that were pulling there couldn't get out of the way either.
They forgot to do something. They forgot to pull.
They had lead feet and couldn't get out of the way. So that'll bring up an interesting down here, 3rd and about 4, to see if the Bearcats are going to run it or pass it. Of course, the quarterback is fast, and he's ran a couple of quarterback keepers. He's under center. It's a straight drop back pass, looking for the slant pattern, and it looks like he hit it off the ground, but they're going to give it to him. I think that bounced off the ground, Mike. That was pretty close. But the officials are giving him the reception. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the Chieftain 42-yard line.
Looks like both teams are kind of aware of the other team's passing ability and allowing quite a bit of room, looks like, on the split ends. And he ran a little slant inside. And like you said, it was real close. They couldn't tell if it hit the ground or if it was a completion, but they sure gave it to him.
Now, that was awful close. Really wasn't an official that close to the play. Most about 10 or 15 yards away, even the middle umpire. So 1st down and 10, 2 wide receivers for the Bearcats. Option gave to the fullback, and he had a big opening right down the middle. Gain of about 15, and the Bearcats will be down to the Chieftain 26-yard line with the 1st down. 8:34 to go here in the first half. Chieftains on top 7-0. But the Bearcats making another drive after they got the Chieftain fumble at the Bearcat 44-yard line. Mike, and I think we shouldn't need to put these guys away early. They're coming back.
They're definitely quick and can score, looks like, just about any time.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 at the Chieftain 26-yard line. Time for the defense to step it up. Quarterback with the option down the far side. He keeps it, goes right back to the middle, but there's good pressure by the Chieftains there. Quinn Ellis along with Fidel Rodriguez. Also in on the tackle is Eloy Trejo. That's a gain of about 2. And that's the kind of pressure you want to get on that quarterback, get a hold of him early and get him down.
Yeah, there was no doubt that wasn't the option. That wasn't a pass. That was designed for him to take that ball upfield.
So that'll bring up 2nd down at 8. 7:50 to go here in the first half. 7-0 Chieftains. They scored on their first possession of the game on the 60-yard pass play. 2 wide receivers for the Bearcats. Quarterback straight drop back pass, fakes the handoff, pass out in the flat. He's wide open. I believe he got away from a linebacker that time, Mike, and it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Bearcats at the Chieftain 14-yard line.
They put a good fake on, then kind of rolled out to the right, and like you said, that tight end kind of broke out and just kind of went out to the flats, and he was wide open.
That's the play I think that Denver City ran on us once, where they kind of clear out the secondary and roll a guy in underneath the linebacker. So it's 1st down and 10, right at the 15-yard line for the Bearcats. 2 wide receivers for the Aledo team, quarterback under center. It's an option down the line given to the first guy through. Fidel Rodriguez on the tackle, gain of about 2.
The Chieftain defense all year long, when it's gotten down to this spot about here, about 15 yards and in, have been really tough.
We'll see if they can rise to the occasion again. We'll have 2nd down and 8. Just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Second time the Bearcats have been down here in scoring position. Last time they fumbled. See if we can get another one of those fumbles here, Mike. 2 wide receivers here to the near side. Looks like they may try something out here in the flat on the pass play. No, it's a quick pitch to the far side. He's got some running room. Ooh, a nice tackle by Fidel Rodriguez there at the end. He might have gained 2 or 3 more yards if Fidel hadn't hit him. That's going to bring up 3rd down at about 3 or 4. Looks like 4 yards after the spot. Ball is at the Chieftain 8-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Looking for something, maybe the quarterback with a rollout with option pass or run. Also be interesting if they don't get it, if they go for it or go ahead and kick the field goal.
Right, that's what I was just thinking. With this offense, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for it.
2 wide receivers for the Bearcats, 2 running backs in the backfield. It's a handoff to the second guy through. He's going to have the 1st down about the 3-yard line, Mike. And I was surprised they just ran right up the middle off tackle.
It's one of the first times they've ran that play.
So 1st down and goal for the Aledo Bearcats at the Chieftain 3-yard line. This drive started back at the Bearcat 44 after the Chieftain fumble. Mainly just running. Of course, they had the 2 passes, one for 8 yards and another one for about 6 yards on the flat pass. 1st down and goal at the 3. 2 tight end setup for the Bearcats. Hand off to the second back through, and looks like he's going to have a touchdown. Touchdown, Aledo Bearcats with 5:42 to go here in the first half. Mike, it looks like they got their offensive line going and just started running it down our throats.
Right. That was just a good old-fashioned power play right there. Just student body up the middle.
So Aledo marches from their 44-yard line right down the field and scores 6 points. They have a chance to tie it here on the extra point.
If the kickoff while ago was any indication, looked like he had a pretty good foot.
He'll be kicking against a slight breeze. Snap is good. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 5:42 to go in the first half, your score, the Friona Chieftains 7, Aledo Bearcats 7. We'll be back right after these messages. This is Friona Chieftain football. This is Clint Mears along with Mike Hudson. The Bearcats have just scored to tie things up, 7-7. They're kicking off. Chieftains will have a breeze here with the last 5:42 to go here in the first half. David Shelby on the run back. He's got a wall to the far side. He breaks it back up inside a couple tackers and be outside to about the 36-yard line.
Attackers?
Attackers. Turned by David Shelby gives the Chieftains pretty good field position, Mike, and we need to score here to end the first half on a good note.
That's right. It's time to let the offense get back to their old ways and have another sustained drive and put 7 more points on the board.
Are we do a Andy Kendrick run here pretty soon? Dial one in. We have 5:33 to go here in the first half. Be sure to stay tuned at halftime. We'll be having an interview with Bill Ellis and Ron Carr, interview from the sidelines. He'll come up and tell us what it's like down on the field. First down at 10. Quick pitch to David Shelby. He's got some blockers, but he cuts it back to the inside and breaks 2 more. That was good running there by David. He had 2 Bearcats right in his face, but yet twisted and turned and got a pickup of about 6 yards.
Looks like their quarterback, Mr. Proctor, was one of the guys in on that tackle, so he goes both ways. Key player for him on both sides of the ball.
Apparently he's shaking off that little ankle injury he had a while ago, and he returned the punt. Second down and 4 for the Chieftains. Quinn Ellis and Angel Vega here to the near side. David Shelby in the slot to the far side. Andy Kendrick in motion. It's the option down that side. Pitch to Andy Kendrick. He breaks one guy, gets to the sidelines. He can get around the corner. He can beat them both. And they run him out of bounds at the Aledo 40-yard line. Mike, if we had 2 more yards of football field on that far side, he might have could have got around the end and scored.
That looked like regular Chieftain football right there. Kyle did a great job of holding that ball as long as he could. The guy finally made a commitment to him, and he tossed it out. And that's just another great play.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Chieftains at the Bearcat 46-yard line. 4:50 to go here in the first half. We're all tied up 7-7. Chieftains looking to score here before the end of the first half and get back on top. One wide receiver for the Chieftains, Daniel Cuevas in the slot here to the near side. We're going to have a penalty, like maybe a false start. I think Andy may have beat the snap count just a tad that time.
I believe so.
Illegal procedure is the call. And once again, Mike, we get past midfield with a drive, and all of a sudden we make mistakes. We sure hope that don't come back to haunt us here later in the second half. But the Chieftains had first down and 10 at the 46. Bearcats deciding whether they want second down and 9 or first down and 15. They call in from the sideline their coaches, and they still haven't made the decision. They're going to take the penalty. So it'll be first down and 15, which I think may work out okay for the Chieftains, Mike. At least we have 3 downs. Try to get to 15 yards, and if we can hit one big run, we can get it back.
Get that right back.
So see if the Chieftains can avoid any more mistakes here in the first half. It's really hurt us so far. Every one of our penalties or turnovers has really been costly today for the Chieftains. It's hurt our momentum. And the Chieftains will have to call a timeout. Play clock was down to 13. They messed up on the play clock, Mike, because after the penalty, you're supposed to reset it at 25 seconds, and they didn't. We was already down out of time. So that was a little problem from the guys up here in the booth. Should have reset that after the penalty was called. We'll take this quick timeout. This is Friona Chieftains football. Texas, we're down to 4:31 to go here in the first half. Score is all knotted up at 7. Chieftains will have a first down and 15 at their 49-yard line.
It's knotted up about as much as my stomach is right now.
Angel Vega wide here to the near side. Andy Kendrick in the slot. Kyle Grimsley at quarterback. David Shelby in motion. Ball is given to Daniel Cuevas, gain of about 5, and Daniel's got some pretty good yards so far today, Mike.
Really has. He's really taking that ball heading straight up field, and like you said, so far, he's usually not getting contact till 2 or 3 yards up the field.
Also keeps the defense honest to get at least put a linebacker or a defensive lineman to try to tackle him. Second down and 10 after that gain of 5 by Daniel. 2 Chieftains split here to the near side. Andy Kendrick and David Shelby in the slot. Option to the far side. And, Mike, we're getting early penetration from that far side. Our offensive left side and their defensive right side, they're either blitzing a linebacker or a cornerback, breaking up that option play. That's the second or third time.
I think that's why sometimes Daniel's had such a big hole, because the guy is not there. He's already shot the gap and missed the gap.
I believe that's the linebacker. They're blitzing in from that far side and trying to break up the option play.
And I'm willing to bet they come on this one, too. 3rd and 12. It wouldn't surprise me to see them come.
3rd down and 12 at the Bearcat 48-yard line. 2 wide receivers. Kyle Grinsley with a straight drop back pass, being flushed out of the pocket to the near side. You got a guy, David Shelby, open in the middle. And it's intercepted by the Bearcats, and we got a penalty flag down here at the line of scrimmage. I don't know what this penalty down here was. Mike, I don't know if it's holding. I really didn't see a blocker down there, but the pass was intercepted by the Bearcats. The officials are talking over. I believe it'll be against the Chieftains. Officials are talking it over. Holding is the call against the Chieftains, so that was a double whammy for the Chieftains. A penalty and an interception. And this is very uncharacteristic of the Chieftains so far here in the playoffs, Mike. We made more mistakes here in one half than we did the whole first 3 games here in the playoffs.
One thing, thank goodness, we'd love to have kept the ball alive just then, but one good thing about it is where they've got it would have been about equal to where the punt might have been. So
it's time for the defense to step up. We have 3:14 to go here in the first half. Score is 7-7. Actually, the Chieftains are matching up well against the Bearcats. It's just our mistakes have cost us from being any further ahead than we are. 4 wide receivers. We saw this from Vernon last week with their 4 wide receivers set up. Handoff is the inside handoff draw. Read well by the Chieftains, but 4 guys missed the tackle. That's also uncharacteristic of the Chieftains.
Yeah, he put his head down, and he just kind of rambled straight forward, bounced off a couple of Chieftains, and picked up pretty good yardage.
Quinn Ellis and David Shelby both had him behind the line of scrimmage, and they bounced off of them. Gain of about 7 for the Bearcats. 2:50 to go here in the first half. Bearcats going from right to left. Breeze of about 5 miles an hour in their face. 4 wide receivers again. Bearcats do have a pretty good passing offense. Straight drop back pass across the middle and a gain of about 6 yards for the Bearcats. They'll have 1st down and 10 at their 45-yard line. Mike, if he's going to give that much time to throw, it's going to be tough for the secondary to cover their guys for that long. We need to get some pressure.
See what, he's got an arm. He really rifled that ball. It was just out of his hand and completed before you knew what happened.
2:29 to go here in the first half. 7-7. 3 wide receivers to the far side. They're going to throw to that side. A little bit of pressure by Quinn Ellis on the quarterback. Dives at his feet. He still gets the pass off. Wide open. The Bearcat was wide open at the Chieftain 28-yard line. Mike, how did he get that wide open? He was just standing there with the Chieftain not within 10 yards. Quinn Ellis did hit the quarterback right when he was throwing it and affected the pass a little bit. It was wobbly, but there was a Bearcat just wide open down about the Chieftain 30-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Bearcats at the Chieftain 27-yard line.
Looks like the Chiefs might have committed to coming up, and because it looked like he was going to try to run. About the time he got to the line of scrimmage, he went ahead and threw the ball.
4 wide receivers again for the Bearcats. 1st down and 10 at the Chieftain 26. Quarterback draw again. That's what's going to hurt us, not being able to cover the draw, but only a gain of about 3. That's the bad thing about having a quarterback that's fast. And we're down inside 2 minutes, 1:48 to go in the first half.
Yeah, really, he didn't even look for a receiver downfield. You could tell he was going to run with that ball no matter what.
So after 2 big plays, the Bearcats are back down in scoring position against the Chieftains. 2nd down and 7 at the Chieftain 24-yard line. 4 wide receivers again. 1 running back in the backfield. Straight drop back pass. They got a blitz. Going to be a screen. Intercepted and dropped. That was intercepted by Juan Santiago. It was a screen pass that went off a helmet of a Bearcat right to Juan, and he had running room. I don't know if he'd have scored a touchdown, but he had plenty of running room. And we have a timeout on the field. This is Friona Chieftains football. We're back at Mustang Stadium in Sweetwater, Texas. Clint Mears along with Mike Hudson. 3rd down and 7 for the Bearcats at the Chieftain 24-yard line. Minute 21 to go here in the first half. 7-7 is the score. Straight drop back pass. A little pressure by the Chieftains. Quinn Ellis forces him to one side, but he breaks out. He's going to go back and forth, and finally throws it up in the air. Hit by the Chieftain, almost intercepted. Who was that, Mike? Was that Shane?
Shane Blackburn stepped in front of that. That was really a dangerous pass. I can't believe he threw that. They got really lucky that wasn't intercepted.
That quarterback is really quick, and he'd go one way, back the other way, and he should have been sacked. Had Chieftains all over him. Then he just kind of threw up a wounded duck pass, and Shane almost intercepted, and it almost went off his hands, and almost was a reception by the Friona Chieftains. We have another timeout here on the field by the Bearcats. We'll kind of run down what's happened so far here in the first half. The Chieftains got the opening kickoff, Mike, and we run it back out to what's about the 40, but we had a penalty on it, put us back to the 10, and about 2 plays later, we score on a 60-yard pass play to Angel Vega from Kyle Grimsley, and we go on top. It looks good early, 7-0. And then the Chieftains thought what we had was a fumble recovery return for a touchdown, but the official said the play was already dead, which is kind of a dubious call, highly questionable call. And Aledo had a good march down to the Chieftain 10 or so, but they fumbled. And the Chieftains have come back with an interception and a fumble of their own. Aledo scored with about a 60-yard drive, made it 7-7. Chieftains got it back out across midfield again, but then suffered a dual holding penalty play, which really hurt us. And Aledo has made 2 pretty good plays here and has 4th down and about 7 at the Chieftain 25-yard line, and we're down to a minute 10 to go here in the first half, and your score is 7-7. Aledo, after the timeout, decided they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Big play for the Chiefs.
A little out of their range for the field goal. 4 wide receivers. See if the Chieftains come on the blitz. Quinn Ellis comes on the inside, but the quarterback rolls to the outside. He got pressured by Luis Ramirez. The pass is overthrown, and they're going to call an interference. It was over his head. How can that be interference when they was both going for the ball over his head?
No, he could not have caught that ball.
Another sorry call by this officiating crew. That's just incredible. And it's going to be interference on the Chiefs, and that's just outrageous. The pass was already over their head, and the Chiefs wasn't even hitting him. That's just another poor call, and that's all you can say about it. 4th down, it's over his head, and the Chieftains had the football, and it's over. But no, interference or pushing call.
No, that's one thing if he could have caught that ball, but there is no penalty when they cannot catch the ball, and that was a good 2 feet over his head.
10 yards. They won't even be close to being caught. So that's 2 bad officiating calls by this group. Highly disappointing to be in a state quarterfinal game and have this poor of officiating. But it's 1st down and 10. Option is the inside. Caught from behind by Quinn Ellis at the 12-yard line. We're inside a minute to go.
Now, I'll tell you what, they used 2 of their timeouts a while ago, so they're going to have to hurry up and get up there. And if in case they know that they can't get in the end zone, they're going to have to kick a field goal. So
I don't want to run it in the ground, but the officials have cost the Chieftains a touchdown in the first quarter, and they possibly could cost them another here. But it's 2nd down and 5. Straight drop back pass being rushed early. The ball is in the dirt, short of the intended receiver. 35 seconds to go in here the first half. It's 3rd down and 5. But that just gave Aledo 4 more chances to try to score after that bad call by the side linesman on the interference call.
That was a good job by, couldn't tell who it was, but the Chiefs had good pressure up the middle just then and made him throw it well before he was ready.
3rd down and 5 at the Chieftain 12-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Bearcats. See if the Chieftains come on the blitz. It's a rollout to the far side. Quinn Ellis has his hands on the quarterback and 4 missed tackles. It'll be a 1st down at the 6-yard line. Mike, 4 missed tackles by the Chieftains. And we have 27 seconds to go in the first half. It'll be a 1st down and goal at the Chieftain 6-yard line. Aledo down to 1 timeout, but they may not need it. 27 seconds to go and have a 1st down, 4 plays to score. Quarterback on this downs it straight down, and it'll be 2nd down and goal. That stops the clock. Not a timeout, but it will stop the clock.
It's going to be plenty interesting if we can stop them right here. They're going to have to burn that other timeout, or they're going to run out of time.
But they shouldn't even have the football. It should be the Chieftains with the football, but to get the interference call and give them new life, they'll have 3 downs to either score or the clock will run out with 21 seconds to go. 3 wide receivers and a guy in the slot. Mike may look for that pass out in the flat. Quarterback straight drop back pass. Is he going to run? He's being blitzed up the middle, being sacked, hit, almost intercepted, and it's incomplete. And we have another penalty flag, holding.
That's going to move them back. That's a big play right there because they were, 3 yards away, 5 yards away, and it's going to move them back to about the 15 with 15 seconds left.
I just can't, though, believe how squirty this quarterback is, though. As many bad throws as he's made, not to have any of them intercepted. He was being blitzed, and he was hit, and it threw it up there, and it was an end-over-end wobbler. And shouldn't have ever been thrown. But that will put him back 10 yards, back to the 20. And we're down to 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Also, it'll still be second down. The Bearcats are lined up ready to go. Shotgun formation again. Snap is back is good. Not much pressure by the Chieftains this time. He's going for some holding there. Pass almost intercepted by Aaron King. It's going to be touchdown, Bearcats. Aaron went for the interception, and it cost him. He dove in front, couldn't make the interception, and Aledo scores with 7 seconds to go here in the first half.
Looked like he just about got a hand on that, just out of his reach.
I tell you what, their quarterback is about as squirrely as we've seen all year. That was just lucky. That whole drive was lucky, set up by the bad interference call on the officials, and the Bearcats overcome their own holding call and score with 7 seconds to go here in the first half.
It's like they're going to try to decide whether or not to go ahead, and they took their last time out, decide whether or not to kick that or go for the 2-point conversion.
It's like they're going to decide where they want to go up by 1 touchdown, 14-7, or like you said, go for the 2 and get the 8-point lead. Mike, that's a disappointing way to end the first half. It's also disappointing, too, that the officials have been part of it instead of just the actual play on the field. It has to be them stepping in the way and costing Friona 2 touchdowns. We returned that 1 fumble for a touchdown. They called it back, and then that interference call gave Aledo the new downs.
That hurts.
So that's 14 points given by the officials, and that you shouldn't have that in a state quarterfinal game. You shouldn't have to put up with that.
Since they called that timeout, even though they're setting up for the field goal, I still wouldn't guarantee that they're going to kick that.
Yeah, but good kicker, as we saw a while ago, he made the extra point with no problem. They're set up to kick the single point for extra point.
One of the first times all year we've seen somebody kick it soccer style.
Snap is good. Kick is off to the right, and I think it's no good. And it's no good, and with 7 seconds to go here in the first half, 1 small break for the Chieftains. They missed the extra point, and with 7 seconds to go, your score is Aledo 13, Friona 7. I didn't think we'd be behind here at halftime, Mike. We're going to have to regroup and cut down some of our mistakes here coming into the second 3-yard pass play. Actually, the ball was caught about the 15. Aaron King dove, just missed it on his fingertips, and a couple of Chieftains were there, but the Bearcat broke it to the inside and dove in and barely made it across the goal line. So Aledo will kick off. They had the lead 13-7.
There's no doubt nobody took this team lightly. I mean, they wouldn't be to this point if they couldn't play some football.
Well, I don't think we've taken them lightly either. It's just that it seemed like every break and every call that the last 3 games, you know, the penalties and stuff really hadn't been a factor in the game at all as far as the scoring. But today it's been a factor. So Aledo's set to kick off. Chieftains will have a chance to run it back. Ball falls off the tee. That's pretty poor teeing it up, Mike, because there's no wind.
No, the flags are just barely moving, especially down the field. The wind is not a factor.
Maybe the football is irregularly shaped. See what Aledo does? They just squib it, or they go ahead and do a regular kickoff since there's just 7 seconds to go here in the first half. They do a squib kick. Shane Blackburn on the return. And he'll be back outside about the 28-yard line with 2 seconds to go here in the first half. Chieftains will have a chance to run 1 play here right before the end of the first half. Today's game between the Friona Chieftains and Aledo Bearcats brought to you by KPNN. I'd like to thank them again for joining forces with us from Friona. They bring you high school playoff football. We'll see what the Chieftains do here if they decide to go down the knee and go into half or try to run a pass play. Look like, though, Bearcats are going to be in a prevent defense.
Right, their secondary is 30 yards downfield.
It's like we're probably going to be set up and do a option or off-tackle play. Kyle Grimsley fumbles. That's the end of the first half. Probably the poorest the Chieftains have looked so far in the playoffs. Maybe they can regroup at halftime. But that's the end of the first half of your score. The Aledo Bearcats 13, Friona Chieftains 7. This is Friona Chieftains football. We'll be back after a few messages and a break for a halftime report from Bill Ellis and run by the Bearcats. And this time the officials blow the whistle. A couple weeks ago at Monaghan's we had a fair catch and no whistle, and they ran it back about 30 yards.
Not this time.
So that was a good kickoff, Mike. It got them back down to the 25-yard line and avoids a run back.
Right. Not only was it pretty deep, but it was really high. Really allowed the coverage team to get down there, and so, of course, Aledo had to take the fair catch.
So we'll see if the Chieftain defense can rise to the occasion. It's first down and 10 for the Bearcats at their 25-yard line. 2 wide receivers this time for the Bearcats. 2 running backs in the backfield. It's an option play given to the fullback. Nice tackle early there by number 77, Hugo Santiago.
Looks like 2-4-6 Chiefs in on that tackle.
And that's one of the plays the Chieftains are going to have to stop, Mike. Aledo did get some yardage there in the second quarter, just giving off that first guy to the middle of the field. Be a gain of about 2. Second down and 8 here at the start of the third quarter. Aledo 13, Friona 7. 3 wide receivers this time for the Bearcats. 1 running back in the backfield, so option down the side. Quinn Ellis hits the quarterback, and he breaks a block around the outside. I don't know if that looked like it might have been a little holding, but there's no penalty flag out there on Shane Blackburn. Looks like he had a little bit of holding, but there's no call, and the Bearcats will have a first down and 10. Mike, that looks like our play. We run that option.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to defense because, you used to playing a power team that runs all the time, and if they get in third and long, they'll say, okay, well, we've got to pass, but you never know.
Well, the last 2 or 3 teams we've played have been more of a power running team versus a speed. So far, the Chieftains are going to need to adjust. It's first down and 10 for the Bearcats at their 40-yard line. Roll out to the near side. Luis Ramirez was in on the quarterback, but he gets it off, and it's complete at the 50-yard line. Tackle made by Andy Kendrick. Just a little bit too much time to throw, Mike. Quarterback had a long time for that play to develop. First receiver to drag her across the middle. And Aledo is first down and 10 at midfield. The Chieftain defense is going to have to make some adjustments and step up and put some pressure on the quarterback.
It's time for us to get a break.
We need one. The first down and 10 at midfield. 10:58 to go in the third quarter. Aledo on top, 13-7. Handoff off right tackle. Good play by the Chieftains. Number 55, Fidel Rodriguez. 1-yard gain. It'll be second down and 9.
So far,
oh, that was second down. I thought they had the first down, Mike.
No, I did too, but looks like you did just need a yard.
I thought that pass play had down 10 yards, but it was 9.5, so that'll be first down and 10 at the Chieftain 49-yard line. Bearcats started at their 25 and have got a couple of first downs now out to the Chieftain 48. 10:39 to go here in the third quarter. 2 wide receivers for the Bearcats. 2 guys in the backfield. Handoff up the middle, gain of about 6.
Looks like that was well blocked by Aledo. They had us going backwards on that one. They really had their assignments done well.
Actually, after the mark, the gain about 5 would be second down and 5, and the Bearcats sure are mixing up well in their offense, kind of keeping the Chieftains off balance, and you can do that when you have a quarterback that can run or throw and run the option pretty good. Almost a carbon copy of what the Chieftains do. Second down and 5 for the Bearcats. Fake by the quarterback, straight brought back pass out into the flat, wide open. Gain of about 10. It'll be first down and 10 for the Bearcats at the Chieftain 35. They found a pattern, Mike, and they're just following that pattern.
They really are. That was a designed rollout again. He kind of faked the handoff to the left side, kind of spun around and went off to the right, and once again is the same play a while ago where that tight end kind of breaks away from his block and goes out in the flats and was home alone.
I really thought this game would be dominated by the Chieftain offense against the Aledo defense, but so far here in the last 2 quarters, it's been all Aledo offense on the field there the whole game. Handoff up the middle, gain of about 5. I think it's that, Mike, that second quarter when Aledo had the ball in there the whole second quarter is kind of wearing down our defense. We need to get our offense on the field and have a long drive.
That's right. Usually our offense is out there majority of the game, but so far, I don't know the time of possession, but Seemed like their offense has been out there a bunch.
They was out there almost the entire last part of the second quarter, and so far all of the third quarter. 9:07 to go here in the third quarter. Aledo on top 13-7 and driving, stake it down in 5 at the Chieftain 29-yard line. 2 wide receivers. Handoff on the far side. He's got some running room to the far side. Breaks 1 tackle, 2, and will be down to the 15-yard line. And the Bearcats are really mixing it up on the Chieftain defense.
They really are, because that play looked just like that pass a while ago, so you don't know whether or not he's going to pass or if he's handing it off.
And we're not getting hurt by the quarterback. It's just their regular running backs, Mike. They come up with a couple of new plays that didn't run in the first quarter, first half. It'll be first down and 10 at the Chieftain 16-yard line. Mike, we've been stuck down here in this end zone here for about the past, 10, 12 minutes of the football game. Has been down here near the Chieftain end zone. First down and 10 at the 16. Roll out pass here to the near side. No pressure. Got a guy open in the corner, but he throws it wide out of bounds. Bring up second down and 10. Pretty close to that same play that scored a touchdown a while ago where he caught it and cut it back to the inside.
Right, looks like he threw it more to the outside. Looks like Aaron King was on the inside, so he threw it more to the sidelines to where if his receiver couldn't get to it, there would not be an interception.
It brings up second down and 10 at the Chieftain 16-yard line. Bearcats with the ball. They have the lead 13-7. Defense going to need to hold here. Bearcats come up with 3 wide receivers. 1 man in the backfield, quarterback under center. Roll out that delayed handoff draw. Read well by the Chieftains, only a gain of about 2. So a big 3rd down and 7 for the Chieftains, Mike, and we need a defensive stand here out here.
Really have to, because I'm really curious to see if they have enough confidence in their kicker since he missed that extra point a while ago, if they're going to go for it on 4th down or if they would decide to try to go up by 9.
It's going to be 3rd down, actually only a gain of 1 on seconds. It'll be 3rd and 9. About the same position Aledo was in a while ago, right before the half, and they scored. 3 wide receivers. Get the Chieftains come with the blitz on the quarterback. Under center, straight drop back pass. It's a draw, quarterback draw. He's got room. And he's going to be short of the 1st down.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was carrying that ball like a loaf of bread.
It's going to be 4th down and about 3, and looks like we're going to have the field goal team. So the Chieftain defense did hold and kept him out of the end zone. And the kicker did miss the extra point a while ago, Mike, so it's not a given that they'll make the field goal.
No, he's a soccer-style kicker, which on a soccer-style kicker, you would rather be on the left side of the field kicking, and he's on the right side, so he's got to really kind of pull across this ball.
They're set up for the field goal. It'll be about a 28-yarder. The snap is good. The kick looks wide. And it's no good, and the Chieftain defense has held, forced a missed field goal. So with 7:10 to go in the 3rd quarter, your score is still Aledo 13, the Chieftains 7. Chieftains will have the football now, 1st down and 10. Since it was inside the 20-yard line, it'll come back as a touchback at the 20, 1st down and 10. So, Mike, we dodged a little bullet there.
You know, we was asking for a break, and that was a break right there because they were moving the ball and looked like we're on their way to the end zone, and then the Chieftain defense stopped them, and then we got what we needed, the break of him pushing the ball off to the right.
So the Chieftain defense makes another great stand here in the playoffs. Now it's up to the offense to see if we can capitalize on that break. 1st down and 10 at the 20. Kyle Grimsley, quarterback, hand off to David Shelby. He's got some running room. He broke 1 tackle, but then there was 2 Bearcats waiting on him. And even a defensive lineman got in on that tackle coming down the line, Mike, and they do have some speed on defense.
They really do, and they're playing with a lot of emotion right now. I think they know that they're really not picked to win this game, and they're just giving it everything they've got. And like you said, that was really four yards, but to them, they were going nuts because they stopped us.
So the Chieftains will have 2nd down and 6. Chieftains with 2 wide receivers. David Shelby in the slot. Audible at the line of scrimmage by Kyle Grimsley. Kendrick in motion. It's the option pass. There's some running room at the middle. Kyle Grimsley will have the 1st down. Depends on where they mark it. I believe he will have the 1st down. Yes, it is the 1st down. 6:29 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Score is Aledo 13, Chieftains 7. Chieftains get a 1st down at the 30. And we're needing a touchdown.
Anyway, it doesn't matter if it's a pass or run.
Anybody. Anyway, anybody. 2 wide receivers for the Chieftains. David Shelby in the slot. Kyle Grimsley up to the line of scrimmage, calling the snap count. Straight drop back pass. Slant pass to Angel Vega. Catches it 2 inches off the ground. Nice catch. He breaks a couple tackles and be right at the first down marker at the Chieftain 40-yard line.
Looks like a Aledo defender had him about 3 yards short, and Angel just took everybody with him and got right to the stick.
We'll let the officials going to have to bring in the chain gang. It looks like it's the first down, Mike, from here. But with this crew that we have out here tonight, anything's possible.
Well, they don't have too far to go. They've got to pull the sticks out about 3 yards. And it is a first down. Now, we could have told them that.
So 2 consecutive first downs for the Chieftains after they make a great defensive stand and the Bearcats missed the try at the field goal. It'll be first down and 10 for the Chieftains at their own 40-yard line going left to right. We have 6:02 to go here in the third quarter. Bearcats on top 13-7, but the Chieftains at the start of what will be a touchdown drive here. That's what we're thinking.
Well, that's kind of how we started the first drive of the game. This is our first drive of the second half.
2 wide receivers here to the near side. Kyle Grimsley under center calling the plays. Quick pitch to David Shelby. Gets a couple blocks, breaks it to the inside. If he can break it back out. Nice tackle by the Bearcats at the 50-yard line, Mike. If he could have got outside one more guy, he hit a wall, and he'd have been gone.
Yeah, that was a really good gain. And what's impressive also is Kyle Grimsley turns around, pitches the ball, and he was the last or the first one down the field down there making blocks.
What's bad, it's another 10-yard gain. We're going to have another measurement. Hadn't had one the whole game, and here we have a measurement back-to-back. So we're going to stay here on the field because it won't take them too long to do the measurement. Trailed by 6, but they're driving. 2 wide receivers for the Chieftains. Kyle Grimsley under center, calling the snap count. David Shelby in motion. The option, Kyle Grimsley keeps it, breaks it back up, breaks 2 tackles, and he'll have a gain of about 5. So it'll bring up second down and 5 for the Chieftains. Getting a little bit more running room here, Mike, on this drive. Chieftains determined coming out of the locker room at halftime to get back into the game.
Big boost by that missed field goal. That just seemed to kind of pump us back up with life, and the Chiefs are responding and moving the ball down the field.
And the missed extra point may loom crucial. 2 wide receivers for the Chieftains, second down and 5 at the Bearcat 45. And up the middle to Daniel Cuevas. He breaks 2 or 3 tackles. He's in the open, and we're going to have a face mask at the 25-yard line.
And that could be a 15-yard variety because he was riding him down the ground.
I tell you what, that was that quick hitter that Daniel broke for a 30-yard gain early in the game there the first half. We'll see if it's a 5 or 15 for personal foul. It looks like they're going to call a 5-yarder. They didn't show a personal foul call there.
Right, that sure looks like. I guess he just had there was about 4 guys that was trying to ride Daniel down. And we couldn't tell from here, but apparently somebody just kind of brushed it or held on to it for a minute, didn't take him down with it.
So with the penalty, it'll be first down and 10 for the Chieftains at the Bearcat 15-yard line, 4:34 to go in the third quarter. Chieftains trail 13-7, Mike, but we're knocking at the door. Angel Vega split to the near side. 3 running backs in the backfield for the Chieftains. Kyle Grimsley under center. Quick pitch to Andy Kendrick. He's got a couple blockers. He breaks the seam. Like he'll have a gain of about 6 yards, possibly Mike inside the 10, see where they mark it.
It was good running right there. The 2 Aledo defenders came up, and you could tell that they were going to stop him right there. He put his head down and got about 2 more yards out of that.
It is a gain of 5 for Andy Kendrick. It'll be second down and 5 at the Bearcat 10-yard line.
We had a good view from right here. That hole opened up, and that was good blocking.
Best scoring chance the Chieftains had since our opening drive for a touchdown. 2 wide receivers for the Chieftains. David Shelby in the slot. Kyle Grimsley at center calling the play. He's under center. Andy Kendrick in motion. It's the option. We got some yardage. Kyle Grimsley goes to the corner of the end zone. He's brought down at the 3-yard line. Nice tackle by the Bearcats. Saved the touchdown.
Really did. He just happened to trip him up, grabbed his ankle, and brought him down, about the 3-yard line?
It'll be first down and goal for the Chieftains at the 3-yard line. Make it at the 4 where they marked his knee down. We have 3:41 to go here in the third quarter. Chieftains trail 13-7, but we do have first down and goal at the 4-yard line. That could be interesting if we go back to the inside to Daniel Cuevas, or we try to keep this. We've been going wide here off that left side of our line here the last 2 or 3 plays.
Right, because goal line stance, they're going to tighten their gaps a little bit, so it'll be a little bit tougher up the
Kyle
middle.
Grimsley under center. Taking a hand off to Andy Kendrick. He's going to have a gain of about 1 or 2 down to the 3-yard line. So we'll have second down and goal. Not too good a spot there by the official. He brings it back to the 3. So it'll be second down and 3 to go for the touchdown. 3:05 to go here in the third quarter. Chieftains are going from left to right. Play is running from the sidelines. We've got plenty of time. The Chieftains will have one wide receiver here to the near side. Quinn Ellison, the tight end on the far side. Kyle Grimsley under center calling the play. 3 running backs in the backfield. Quick pitch to Andy Kendrick. He's got a touchdown.
He's in.
Andy Kendrick! Man, we just beat up that left side of the offensive line, Mike. We just took it to him on that drive. There were those last 4 or 5 plays. All went off the left side of the Chieftain line. Andy Kendrick and Kyle, and then, of course, the one good run, Daniel Cuevas up the middle. That's where we kind of warmed down that time.
Well, just then, there wasn't anybody even close to touching Andy on that one. He just walked into the end zone. Fantastic blocking and the right call at the right time.
So that's a good sign for the Friona Chieftains here going into the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter that the offensive line is back and we had a good drive. Here's the extra point. And it's good, and the Chieftains take the lead with 2:42 to go here in the third quarter. The score, Friona Chieftains 14, Aledo Bearcats 13. We'll be right back after these messages. This is KPAN Radio, Friona Chieftain Football Stadium in Sweetwater, Texas. Mario Pena set to kick off for the Chieftains. Chieftains now have the lead 14-13, our first lead since the first part of the game on that 60-yard pass play, Kyle Grimsley to Angel Vega. Kickoff was brought to the near side, but he'll be down at the 27. Good tackle by Shane Blackburn. Also a couple other Chieftains in on that.
Yeah, the Chiefs are really looking like they're fired up.
Like Ron said there at halftime, we went a little flat there in the second quarter, but I think that defensive stand along with the missed field goal and then the drive by the Chieftains to go back on top, maybe will pump up the defense. We're looking for a turnover.
I'm pumped.
I'm looking for a turnover. Apple, cherry, whatever flavor.
We just want a turnover.
So it's first down and 10 for the Bearcats at their own 28-yard line. 2:36 to go in the third quarter. Handoff to the far side. He's got a little bit of running room. Nice tackle by Kyle Grimsley coming up from his secondary position. Only a gain of 3, Mike. That looked like it had some room to run.
Really did. Somebody kind of slowed him down and grabbed his ankle, and he nearly fell for a loss, and then kind of regained his composure and did, like you said, pick up. Looks like they're giving him 4 yards.
Still looks like they're doing a little bit of holding on our defensive end. I think Quint was being held just a little bit, but no call, and we're down to 2:06 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, we had the ball so long that third quarter, that drive just then. We looked up, and it's nearly fourth quarter.
Second down and 5 for the Bearcats. They got 2 wide receivers. Straight drop back pass. Little pressure from the far side, but he gets the pass off, and he gets hit, though. I think either Quinn or Shelby got a good hit on the quarterback, even though they got a first down, or just a short of a first down, isn't it, Mike? You may have another measurement here.
Right, looks like about a yard.
But the quarterback did get popped, and that's what you need to do. You need to get a hit on him every play. Quint got some good penetration on the backside.
Right, if he'd have held that ball just a second longer, he'd have been blindsided.
It was going to be a fumble, too. That was almost the turnover we needed.
It would have been painful.
But it is a big third down and a yard and a half for the Bearcats. See if they do the quarterback keeper or a quick handoff to their fullback. I look for the quarterback maybe to keep it. They do the option. The quarterback did keep it. He breaks 3 tackles. He breaks 4 tackles. And finally brought down. Mike, that's kind of poor tackling we wanted to avoid.
Boy, I think they put Vaseline on him because he would not go down.
Because all he did was run the option and go right up the field, and we had 4 guys just bounce right off of him. So the Bearcats are coming back after the Chieftains go on top, 14-13. You hate to see a second down and 1, just a little run up the middle, get 20 yards.
Right, he was hit just nearly immediately, and somebody slid off, and he went up about 5 more yards, and somebody slid off, and he just would not go down.
But that was some poor tackling by the Chieftains. They had their shots at him to wrap him up. So it's first down and 10 for the Bearcats at the Chieftain 35. Option play fumble. The Chieftains need to get on it, but it falls right back on the Bearcat. Mike, that was the break we was looking for.
Oh, I tell you what, they have been so lucky. That ball was on the ground. He was being tackled, and he fell back on the
tackler
ball.
Tackled him right on top of the football. Bearcats have had their share of breaks this whole game. Some just regular breaks, and then some from the officiating crew, but that was just a regular break that he fumbled, and the ball stayed right in front of him, and he fell right on it.
Left or bounced right. It had to just stay right in front of him.
They did lose 4 yards, so it'll be second down and 14 for the Bearcats. They have 3 wide receivers, 1 running back in the backfield, quarterback under center. It's an option, roll out to the right, and he goes down. He twists his ankle and goes down.
Oh, I think
his shoe caught into the
might have
turf.
hurt himself that time.
I think that's that same ankle, Mike, that he hurt at the first of the game when he was returning that kickoff. The punt, excuse me. He twisted that right ankle, and that time he went on the roll out to the far side and was going to plant, and he just rolled over his ankle. He's lucky he didn't break his ankle right there.
Well, it looks like they're going to call a timeout. I couldn't tell if that was a Chieftain timeout.
There is a timeout on the field,
Aledo.
so we'll have some quick messages. This is Friona Chieftains football. 22 for the Bearcats. Chieftain defense needing to hold and force a punt to see if we've come with any kind of blitz on their quarterback. It's a straight drop back pass. He's being flushed out of the pocket. That's bad news for the Chieftains. Aaron King, another interception. Aaron King. He's running down the far sideline. He's got a couple of blocks. We're going to have a penalty flag, a clip. Aaron King is still running out of bounds at the 30-yard line, Mike, where we have 2 penalty flags. Looks like we may have a clip.
But that will be a post possession.
But it will be an Aaron King interception, but will probably kick us back to our own 30 instead of the Bearcat 30. So that is going to cost us 40 yards.
But that was a Hail Mary. I think it looked like when he went back to throw, that ankle hurt him again, and he just kind of threw it and fell down.
So once again, Aaron King steps up with the interception. We'll have to see where they're going to mark it from. One penalty flag is at the Bearcat 40, which would put it back to the Chieftain 45. But there's another flag at our 45,
right,
which would put it back at the 30.
But it's Chieftain football.
Once again, Aaron King on the interception, and that's the break the Chieftains were looking for. About the same as the punt. I think we have a little bit better field position than where we were if we punted.
We can get that guy to stop. Kyle, stop that guy.
So the Chieftains will have first down and 10 at their own 30-yard line just underway here in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter started good with an interception by Aaron King. Mike, this is where we need another 8-minute drive for a touchdown. We're going to have to avoid the turnovers, but the Chieftains seem to have regrouped here in the second half. Angel Vega split wide to the near side. 3 running backs for the Chieftains. David Shelby goes up to tight end formation. Kyle Grimsley under center. It's a handoff to Daniel Cuevas, 5'10", breaks another tackle. Breaks another tackle down to the Chieftain 45-yard line. Nice 15-yard run by Daniel Cuevas.
That was just unbelievable running. He went down nearly a couple times, put his hand down, bounced back up, kept going. And that little, like you said, that little quick hitter up the middle has really been good for us this game.
It's almost deja vu, too, Mike. Last week at Vernon when we got down here in the fourth quarter and they needed the drive, Daniel Cuevas got the ball off and made a lot of good yards there in the fourth quarter. Chieftains up first down and 10 at their 45. Angel Vega split to the far side. Kyle Grimsley under center. This time a keeper to David Shelby, The second handoff, and nice play that time by the Bearcats. That's that number 22 again who blitzes in, Mike, and has really hurt us on our option play. He's made a difference for the Bearcats.
Yeah, he's done good in a couple plays, but also because of it, I think is why we broke some of those bigger runs up the middle, because he missed his gap.
If we can get by him, we can make a good yardage. So the Chieftains needing to keep this drive alive with 10:57 to go in the fourth quarter. Chieftains on top 14-13, but we have a second down and 10 at our 45-yard line. One wide receiver and a timeout called by Kyle Grimsley. We'll have a timeout for these messages. This is Friona Chieftains football. We're back at Mustang Stadium. Second down and 10 for the Chieftains at their 45-yard line. One wide receiver to the near side. David Shelby in motion to the far side. Handoff to Daniel Cuevas. He's got 5, 6, 7 yards before he goes, and they're still going. 10 yards.
It looked like he
and
was
a penalty
down.
Flag. Mike, what's that? Is it going to be a face
I think
mask?
that's going to be another face mask.
They had grabbed his face mask.
Because that was on the pile that he was moving, and so that just nearly got to be a face mask.
It is a face mask. Well, they don't like him. They just face mask him every time he gets the football. We'll take it, though. We'll take the extra yards. I mean, that was tough running by Daniel Cuevas. There was one guy on him after 5 yards, 2 guys on him after 7 yards, 4 guys on him after 10 yards.
And it looked like he was down, and all of a sudden the pile just kept moving. I think he was on all fours.
Plus, he had his face mask.
What a man.
What a run. It all comes down to a first down and 10 for the Chieftains at the Bearcat 39-yard line with 10:35 to go in the game. Chieftains on top 14-13, looking to drive the ball down the Bearcats' throat to go up by more than a touchdown. David Shelby in motion. Keeper that time by Kyle. I think he should have handed off to Daniel. I think Daniel would have had 3 yards, and Kyle ended up losing 3. Once again, a good play then by the left-hand side of the Aledo defense. You know, a while ago when we scored, we went against their other side of their defense. Maybe need to come back over here to this side for a while.
Well, you think, well, we beat up the guys on the left for a while. Let's beat up on the guys on the right. But that time they had a good job of their looked like left end snuck through there. And
so it's second down and 12, 3 wide receivers for the Chieftains. Make that 2 in the tight end, David Shelby in motion. Hand off to Daniel this time, and they read it this time. It's going to be no gain. I think you should have reversed those 2 plays, Mike. Should have handed off to him first.
Yeah, they read that one well. They knew that was coming. That's really going to put the Chiefs in a long third down and 12.
Well, that wasn't our usual quick hitter with Daniel. That was a variation off another play off the motion. So that will be third down and 12 now. Big down for the Chieftains if we want to keep our momentum going down here at the Bearcat 41-yard line with 9:15 to go in the game. You need to have that extra score to go up. We'll see what the Chieftains come up with. Angel Vega here to the near side. Kyle Grimsley on the straight drop back pass. Guys rushing him, and he's going to be, he breaks 2 or 3 tackles. Ooh, if he could have broke one more, Mike, he'd had the first down. But he did gain 4 yards. So it'll bring up an interesting play for the Chieftains. 4th down and 8 for the Chieftains. So they're going to bring in the punting team. We had a good drive going. We sure needed a couple more first downs.
Yeah, we found out last week from this spot right here, just because Angel's back there to punt doesn't primarily mean that we are going to punt, but the odds are we will. It's just too far up the field.
We'll see if he goes for the corner of the end zone. It is 4th down and 8. I don't think we'll see any short kicks or attempted run from the Chieftains with 8 yards to go. It is a straight up and down punt. We'll see if it can hit a Aledo guy. Takes a Chieftain bounce. They need to down it. And they will down it at the 1-yard line. Nice pooch punt by Angel Vega.
Great punt.
All year long, he's done just an outstanding job at the punting position.
Right,
fielding bad snaps. And
you'd hate to say we take him for granted, but we've seen him all year long, and we've seen what other team punters do. And he's done such a good job that it's just, I hate to say we take him for granted, but he has done a fantastic job of punting for us.
We don't want to take nothing for granted because even though they have 99 yards to go, you never want to let up, especially with 8:14 to go in the ball game, just a 1-point lead where a field goal can make a difference.
This is where we need for them to slip down in the
end zone.
In the backfield for a safety. Then we'll get the ball back again.
Or a fumble or a turnover here close near the end zone. 1st down and 10 to go. It's just the quarterback keeper, gain of about 2 to be out to about the 4-yard line. That's about almost all you can do, Mike, if you want to avoid a safety or something, just have a quick run up the middle.
Right, they're just trying to get a little bit of a cushion there where they can actually run a normal play because the way that was there, you make a mistake, you just got a safety and get to kick the ball away.
So it's 2nd down and 7 for the Bearcats. The Chieftains lead 14-13 with 7:48 to go in the ball game. Defense needing to make a stand here, give the offense a chance to run the clock out. It'll be 2nd down and 7. 2 tight ends. He got a pitch to the far side, but a good play by Andy Kendrick. Hit him early. He broke out of that tackle and got 2 yards, Mike, but that was a nice play by Andy Kendrick, knifing there through the backfield.
That's pretty dangerous by Aledo. There was a pitch into the end zone. If he'd have bobbled that.
If he'd have mishandled the pitch, it could have been an easy touchdown. So that brings up 3rd down and 5. Big play here for the Chieftains, Mike, if they can hold them. Sort of like we did last week against Vernon, they'll have to make a decision whether to go for it or punt it away with 7 minutes to go in the ball game.
Yeah, if they don't make it, they just nearly have to punt from this part of the
field. So last week was huger and hugest. This is huge-mongous.
Larger than life.
Larger than huge. It's 3rd and 5 for the Bearcats, and we have a delay of game. The clock has run out. It's at 0, and it will be a 5-yard penalty for the Aledo Bearcats.
Well, they looked out there because it's going to be half the distance of the goal. It's only going to hurt them about 2.5 yards. But, of course, it does hurt them. That's the key.
And it runned out a lot of clock.
It runned out.
It runned out a lot of clock.
I wish that clock would run out.
Yeah, these clocks here in Sweetwater, what can you say? At least they had red and white stadium.
And, boy, I tell you what, if they have to punt from this area, that's dangerous also.
First of all, we got to hold them. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Bearcats. 4 wide receivers, straight drop back pass. Chieftain in early, hits him and knocks it down and forces a bad pass. Nice play. I mean, an excellent play by number 77, Hugo Santiago.
Good
I can't tell you how big a play that was.
That was a huge play.
Hugo got it in around from his defensive line side and hit him in the back, and we have an injured player, number 68, Cecil Cooper.
I believe.
I think he was at the bottom of that pile when Hugo came around and hit the quarterback in the back. We'll take these timeouts and see what we can decide on Cecil exactly what happened, but I think somebody just rolled up the backside of his leg. This is KPAN Radio, Friona Chieftains football. Hopefully he'll be back. if we're back next week. Punt formation for the Chieftains, our world-famous punt blocking formation. We don't want to have an offsides, though, with 4th down and 5 or 7. Snap is good. The punt is a little wobbly off to the far side. Angel is going to let it bounce. And it'll be Friona Chieftain ball at the Aledo 36-yard line. So excellent field position for the Chieftains. And we need to run 6:27 off the clock for the victory. Chieftains lead 14-13. And unfortunately, it's another gut-wrenching, nail-biting, edge-of-your-chair. I feel like I'm going to throw up game.
No, please don't. I'm standing a little too close, so just...
That would be a major
hold on.
turnover here in the booth.
Oh, that would be bad.
Yeah, especially if you pull up on equipment for the KPAN. We'd like to thank again Adam and the whole crew at KPAN and the people that don't get mentioned, the technical crew back at the station. Oh, we won't mention them. We'll mention them next week. So 1st down and 10 for the Chieftains at the Bearcat 36-yard line. Angel Vega to the far side, Andy Kendrick in motion. Hand off to Daniel Cuevas, and he gets a gain of about 3. More importantly, he held on the football tightly. There were some grabbing, trying to force a fumble.
Boy, he does cover that ball up well. He puts it in the cradle and just protects it really well.
I believe Aledo has all 3 timeouts left. So the Chieftains really need to get 2 or 3 first downs, and we really need a touchdown. If we could just go ahead and take it in here. We have 6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Chieftains on top 14-13. Wins no factor. Chiefs going right to left. 2 wide receivers for the Chieftains. Kyle Grimsley under center. David Shelby in motion. Quick pitch to David Shelby, but there's a lot of Bearcats. But David gets around the corner, sticks his head down, and gets a gain of about 2, and the clock will keep going. That was another factor, Mike. It was close to being out of bounds, but the clock keeps rolling.
That's a good job to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like Aledo had played that ball about as well as you can play.
Aledo has played that play better than any team we've played so far, Mike.
Yeah, usually we can get to the sidelines and have some running room, but they're really quick on the outside, and they played that well.
Made a couple of good runs in the first half on that play, but here the second half, that play has been shut down. 3rd down and 7 for the Chieftains, looking for a first down. We have 5:10 to go here in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 7, 3 guys in the backfield. Quick pitch to Andy Kendrick. He gets some blockers. If he can cut it back, he does cut it. He's down to the 20, 15, 10, 1 guy to beat. Touchdown, Andy Kendrick!
Oh, my goodness, that was fantastic.
That's the same play that we got that first down at the end of the game against Vernon. If you folks will remember on the radio when we talked about Andy following his blockers and kind of jumping up and getting that extra down. That was the same exact play, except this time it's 6 points.
And great call by the coaches, because I really think they were looking for a quick pass, and they were not ready for that. Great execution and a hugest play.
Well, Adam said we should score, so we had to score.
Is
that right, Adam?
Oh,
Appreciate you piping that into us, and any other touchdowns you want to bring, just go ahead and mention it, and we'll get it right in.
Well, this is looks like the Chiefs weren't too sure about the personnel.
Yeah, I think Cecil Cooper injury may have made a little difference. I think he's on that team. So instead of risking a 5-yard penalty, the Chiefs called timeout. So we'll take these quick timeout here with 4:58 to go in the 4th quarter. Chieftains on top, 20-13. Might want to mention also right quick while we have a break here for our TV listeners and watchers, our sponsors, which include A1 Service Center, Binger Aero Spraying, BuyWise Health Mart, Byron J. Board, Attorney at Law, Campbell Electric, Cattletown, Cunningham Electric, D. King Trucking, DL Thriftway, Don's After Hours Photography, Excel Corporation, Friona Heating and Air, Friona Motors, and Friona State Bank. And we'll get the other half in here in just a second. Back now at Mustang Stadium in beautiful downtown Shallowater. I mentioned Sweetwater. There's too many waters in this state. Sweetwater, Shallowater, Big Water, but it's Angel Vegas set for the extra point. The snap is good. The kick is up. The kick is good, and with 4:58 to go here in the ball game, it's the Friona Chieftains 21, Aledo Bearcats 13. We'll go to a 30-second timeout and be right back. This is Friona, includes Friona Wheat Growers, High Pro Feeds and Animal Health, Hallett Petroleum, Ingram's, Indadin Graphics, Irrigation Engine Service, J&H Equipment of Friona, Kendrick Oil Company, Kirkland Crozier and Company, Payco Feed Yard, Pappy Jack's Golden Donuts, Tasty Cream, State Farm Insurance and your agent, Alan Hale. And West Plains Speed Yard, thank you to all our sponsors. I mean, a big thank you.
Right,
and also Cheetah Squad Boosters and Classic Cable Channel 6.
Right, we appreciate everybody kind of altering our normal
We might
tape.
mention, too, we don't know when this is showing, and we know if we play next Saturday, we won't be showing a game because we'll be at the game. So either watch the bank thing or the cable vision, or on the cable vision or the paper or something to try to get when we rebroadcast these, because I know there's a lot of people that want to see them.
Right.
Back at Mustang Stadium in, what is it?
Sweetwater.
It's Sweetwater. One of those Water brothers.
Oh, I tell you what, that kick right there by Angel, if you folks at home don't realize how big that was, that kept us up by 8 points.
So
that was huge.
So the best that Aledo can do is tie. Mario Pena with the kickoff. It's tied to the sideline. Fair catch was called. So the Bearcats will have it first down and 10 at their 27-yard line. They trail 21-13 with 5 minutes to go in today's Class 3A state quarterfinal game between the Friona Chieftains and the Aledo Bearcats.
There's no doubt you better hold on to your seats here, because Aledo is going to be stepping back and passing a little bit. They've got to score, and they've got to score quick.
And this is where Aaron King comes into play.
He's already haunted them once. Here we go.
Going to have pressure on their quarterback. We're down to 5 minutes. Aledo with 2 wide receivers and 2 guys in the slot. Shotgun formation for the Bearcats. A little pressure up the middle. Pass across the middle. He's open. He'll have about the 36-yard line and out of bounds. So be close to a first down. Now, not also was that kick important, Mike, but their extra point that they missed in the first half is important, too.
Right, we haven't had to go for a 2-point conversion. We've just got to score and kick a field goal. So that's really going to, if they do drive down and score, they've got to, go for the 2 points.
It will be
tie the
second
game.
down and 1 at the Bearcat 36-yard line, 4:51 to go in the ball game. Inside handoff this time. He breaks 1 tackle back at the center, but then again a nice tackle by number 51, Santiago. They will have the first down. The clock will stop for the movement of the chains.
Thank goodness they don't have to move the chains very far, so they'll move a few feet, reset them, and start the clock again.
Clock is started. 4:44 to go in the ball game. First down and 10 for Aledo at their 40-yard line. 4 wide receivers, about like the Vernon Lions head. Roll out to the near side. Quinn Ellis looked like he was being held a little. Wide open pass caught at the Chieftain 47-yard line and out of bounds and stops the clock again, Mike. We need to keep him in bounds.
Right, they're doing a lot of out patterns so if they do complete it, they can step out of bounds and stop the clock.
That was a rollout to the near side, the side of Quinn Ellis, and it sure looked like that blocker was holding him from this near side because Quint never did get away from him. Could never push him to the side, but no call. But there hadn't already been any calls here in the second half.
No, they're letting them play ball.
After that poor first half performance. 4:30 to go in the ball game. Defense needs to pick it up a little bit. 3 wide receivers. Fake inside trap. Quarterback keeper, and he's got plenty of room. He's going to get out of bounds at the Chieftain 35-yard line. That's one guy we need to keep an eye on, Mike, is the quarterback. So far, the Bearcats are moving it pretty good.
Yeah, a while ago they handed off to the fullback, and that play was identical to that, except for he didn't hand off. He went ahead and kept it. Everybody went the wrong direction.
Plus, Aledo has just only burned off like 40 seconds of the clock, too, and they've already marched now about 35 yards. Chieftains are needing to make a defensive stand here pretty soon. We have 4 wide receivers, first down and 10 for the Bearcats. So roll out to the far side. A little bit of pressure by the Chieftains. Intercepted by who? Aaron King!
He's still running.
Down the sideline. He's got 2 blocks, and he runs out of bounds at the Bearcat 47.
Oh, fantastic.
If Aaron King is not All-State, I don't know who he is.
Well, he is with us.
What a guy. I mean, always there for the interception.
What can you say?
What a guy. He's a king.
He's a keeper.
Elvis has entered the building.
Oh, huge play. This is deja vu again, except there's more time on the clock than last week. But if the Chiefs can mount a drive right here, folks, it's over.
It's deja vu all over again.
Or even if we run some time off the clock and have to punt, they're going to have to drive the entire length of the field again. So that was just
Aaron King is an interception magnet here in the playoffs for the Friona Chieftains. Friona at the Bearcat 49-yard line. Hand off to Andy Kendrick. That reminds me of old Gale Sayers' run. Andy jumped over the pile.
He was paying the ultimate price for
I don't know if
5-yard
anybody knows who Gale Sayers was, but
yeah, how old are you,
one of the
Clint?
greatest running backs ever. And his Benny's thing was jumping up in the air, and that's exactly what Andy did, jumped over the pile.
Right. Everybody was laying on the ground in front of him, so he just took the nearest route, at least path of resistance.
You know, we was mentioning deja vu. Aledo had the same formation that Vernon was running with those same 4 wide receivers, that same exact set. You thought after they should have watched Vernon's film and would have stayed away from that. So it's second down and 5. Looks like we're going to have offsides on the Bearcats.
Their whole front line, I guess, was Kyle might have changed his cadence.
That was planned because I saw Kyle, as soon as they jumped, he clapped his hands. I think that was either Kyle did that on purpose or sent in from the sidelines to do that, since it was second down, and we'll be close to a first down.
That's going to make it 2nd and 1, and that really hurts them right there because we just have to gain 1 more yard. We'll get a new set of downs with 3:34 to play.
2nd and 1, generally 1 yard will get you a first down.
Well, unless it's 2nd and 2, but usually 2nd and 1.
You're right. There is that. This is the part of the game where the announcers get a little giddy.
Giddy?
Giddy.
You're giddy. I'm giddy up.
2nd down and 1, handoff to Andy Kendrick. First down for Andy in a gain of about 5 or 6.
Well, that could have been a
I had to swallow
foul.
the butterflies. Had in my stomach not to get those words out. That was a.
Well, people reminded us last week at the end of the game when things got a little excited that we weren't coherent.
Who?
Oh,
I was here.
I hate to use those big words on you,
Okay.
but
Coherent.
coherent.
Adam knows what those mean. He can define them for us after the game. He can decipher. So the Chieftains have first down and 10 at the Bearcat 33-yard line. We're down to 3:04 to go in the ball game. Chieftains on top, 21-13. Quick pitch to Andy Kendrick. Breaks out 2 blockers, breaks another blocker to the far sideline, out of bounds, and close to a late hit, Mike. He was already out of bounds.
And they never did get him down on the ground. He somehow spun out of that, and that was just another fantastic run.
How tastic was it?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. This win is humongous if we can run out the last 2:55.
They may have to bring out the chain gang again.
No, looks like they're not going to bring him out. It's going to be 2nd and 1, which is not bad. We can run another play to get a first down and just burn that much more time off the clock. Speaking of the clock, 2:55 left. Chieftains on top, 21-13. And here we go. Chieftains with Angel Vega split here to the near side. 3 backs in the backfield. Kyle Grimsley under center. Hand off to keeper by Kyle Grimsley to the outside. He'll have the first down. Cuts back inside the 30-yard line down to the 29. First down and 10 for the Friona Chieftains.
This is when Aledo has to start trying to manage some clock. They've got to start calling some timeouts pretty soon.
And I'd like to say one other thing, too, while I'm thinking about it, Mike. Quite a coaching job by James Morton and his crew to go in halftime after playing probably our worst quarter, second quarter, to come back out, regroup, have a defensive stand, and then the offense put it together here in the fourth quarter. That just says an awful lot about James and his whole coaching crew, and also about the guys. Of course, they've showed courage and guts through the whole season. So we have first down and 10 at the Aledo 20. Hand off to Daniel Kravis. He'll have about 3 yards. More importantly, it'll be inbounds, and the clock will keep running. Aledo will have to start using some of their timeouts before too long, Mike.
Looks like Daniel kind of twisted his ankle also. I think he's had a tender ankle for a while, and he's going off on his own power, but he is hurting.
Boy, he's tough, too, because he didn't want to stop the clock. He just gutted it off the field, too. And that's our second Chieftain. I hope we're not going to have an injury bug here. Cecil, we hadn't got the latest on him.
Well, that's happened to him before, and he's ended up coming back into the game. He's just tough.
So timeout on the field finally by the Aledo Bearcats. We're down to 2:12 to go in the game. Your score, Friona 21, Aledo 13. We'll be right back after these messages. This is Friona Chieftain football on KPAN. We're back at Mustang Stadium. Second down and 8 for the Chieftains at the Bearcat 17-yard line. 2:12 to go in the game. Chieftains on top, 21-13. Kyle Grimsley, quick pitch to Andy Kendrick. There's going to be plenty of Bearcats, but you should have a face mask. You know, both officials are standing right there, Mike.
Boy,
both sides,
sure
and
looked
that
like
was a
he
face
did.
mask. That was an obvious face mask. Timeout on the field by the Bearcats, but that was, you know, they done such a good job here after that bad first half, but they had his helmet pulled down by the face mask, and the official on both sides on him, only 5 yards away on both sides, and neither one of them could come up with the call.
Right, because that would have been a 15-yarder. I mean, it looked like he rode him down.
Yeah, he just carried him back with fistful of 13.
Right, this is one of those spots where you need to pick up, 5, 6, 7 yards, and if you don't get the first down, I think Angel can come out and possibly kick a field goal.
It'd also be interesting to see if Aledo will use their last timeout after the third down play, or will they try to hold it, see what we do on fourth down. But it's third down and 13 for the Chieftains at the Bearcat 23-yard line. 2 tight ends for the Chieftains. Option play, Andy Kendrick breaks 1 tackle, comes back to the near side, and will have a gain of about 3 down to the 19, and the Bearcats use their last timeout with 1:56 to go in the game. Chieftains will have fourth down and 10 at the Bearcat 19. We'll be right back after these messages. This is Friona Chieftains football. Is at the Bearcat 19. Chieftains lead 21-13 with 1:56 to go. Bearcats have used all their timeouts. 2 tight ends for the Chieftains, 3 running backs. Kyle Grimsley up at the line of scrimmage. Be a play to David Shelby. He's got an opening. He has to get 2 more yards. He breaks the tackle. He's going to have a touchdown. David Shelby!
Oh, unbelievable. He got stuck with about 2 yards short, ran over the guy, and walked into the end zone. That just buried him, folks.
Son, that's how you put a football game away. Hard-nosed running by David Shelby.
Oh, I tell you what, the Chiefs have come out and absolutely annihilated them the second half.
That sure makes the coaches look good, too.
Oh,
on
man.
4th and 10 and scored a 20-yard run.
I still think that they were thinking that we were going to pass.
Yep.
And we came out with the run. He had good blocking. He had one guy that could have stuck him and stopped him, but he just plowed him over.
Angel Vega set for the extra point with 1:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Snap is good. Kick is up. Kick is good. And with 1:50 to go in the ball game, your score, Friona Chieftains 28, Aledo Bearcats 13. We'll take another quick commercial break, and we'll be back here for the end of the game and a little post-game wrap-up. We'll try to get our thoughts together. That should take over a couple hours.
Try to collect ourselves here.
This is Friona Chieftain football. We're back at newly crowned Chieftain Stadium. You thought it was Mustang Stadium. It's now Chieftain Stadium, and the kick is out of bounds. We'll either have a re-kick or the Bearcats will take it at their 35. But while we have this minute here, Mike, I'd like to bring out our old disclaimer. The views of these 2 particular broadcasters are not necessarily the views of KPAN, the Chieftain Squad Booster Club, our sponsors, the band,
Absolutely
fans,
anybody listening.
parents, Zubin, the camera guy here next door. So anything you hear out of our mouths is not necessarily backed up by anybody in the town of Friona.
It carries no clout whatsoever.
We're here to have fun. We're here to pump up the home team, the Friona Chieftains.
Slightly biased, yes. People call us biased, and Clint, I am. Are you?
I'm biased, but I don't have to be biased to know that first half we had a couple of bad calls, and the second half that the Chieftains overcame that. So we've overcome teams twice our size. Now we've overcome a few bad calls, and that just bodes well for the, notice how I use the word bode. Most people couldn't use that in a sentence.
Most people wouldn't try.
Yeah. Most people don't even know if that is a word. But the Chieftains showed their character and their poise by having a mediocre second quarter, but having a ultra fantastic third and fourth quarter. Of course, those are the quarters that count, third and fourth quarter. You generally don't win too many games at halftime.
No,
they don't give out trophies at halftime. Hey, that's a new
I like
mark.
that one.
They don't give out trophies at halftime. Mario Pena set the kickoff for the Chieftains. 1:50 to go in the ball game. This time, fair catch. That's our third. That's the third fair catch today on a kickoff.
Right. I think they've had one opportunity to run one back. Everything else they've had to take where they caught it.
That's got to be a UIL playoff record. 3 fair catches on kickoffs in one game. Of course, we mentioned earlier a couple weeks ago at Monahan. Monahan did a fair catch, but they ran it back. They cheated.
And we don't like cheaters.
But they're playing basketball now. We're playing football. So the Bearcats will have another opportunity with 1:49 to go, but no timeouts. The Chieftains will try to keep him in the field of play and keep him from going out of bounds. Hugo Santiago in there early. Hugo Santiago and Quinn Ellis on the sack.
Just they made a sandwich.
2 big plays by Hugo here in the fourth quarter. He just put his head down, and he had a guy all over him that broke free and made the sack. Also, the clock keeps ticking. We're down to 1:31. Our hearts keep ticking. And we're down
I don't know. I don't know if mine is or not.
Be sure to pay attention, too, because KPN is going to go with us on the road wherever we go. We'll probably stay in the state of Texas in the St. Michael. Texas football.
Pretty good odds.
We did go out early and play at New Mexico, our first round of the playoff games, but I think we're going to stay inside the state of Texas from here on in. The Chieftains will face the winner of, who was it, Dangerfield
and Tatum, which Dangerfield, I think, is heavily favored, and they were ahead at halftime.
Well, we're talking state semifinal game, too. We're down to 52 seconds to go. Pass here to Flat is complete, and he's down, didn't get out of bounds. That's a nice tackle by number 50, Juan Santiago. So Hugo and Juan, the Santiago bookends, have put the hurt on the Bearcats here in the fourth quarter.
They closed the book.
Enough said on that chapter. 4th down and 4 for the Bearcats at their own 44-yard line. Straight drop back pass. Quinellis on a little pass rush. Pass is complete out at the Chieftain 48. But the Chieftains, all they're doing, Mike, is keeping them in front of them.
That's
Don't
right.
let them get behind
keeping them in the near vicinity, but letting nobody behind you.
So we're going to have some celebration. Hopefully we'll have a gold football, folks. Last week, Vernon either didn't bring it, brought it, but already had it engraved or something. But
I think that's what happened. I think it was in the bus.
It ended up with the Chieftains not getting the gold football, which is, you know, for high school football and the guys, that was pretty poor for the Vernon crowd. But passes, get back to the game. Yeah, we'll get back to the game. Pass was incomplete. But I want everybody to know that, you know, we're talking about high school people, and you ought to have the courtesy of having the trophy after the game, because Vernon, they've been in the playoffs 14 straight years.
Right. I think they had it in the bus. They were going to let their guys, you know, parade it around, but they said, oh, we forgot it.
We're down to 18 seconds to go in the game. Take it down in 10, roll out to the far side. Early pressure by the Chieftains force the quarterback back here to the near side. Quinn Ellis is chasing him down. Pass is thrown, broken up nicely by Shane Blackburn, number 31. Nice play by Shane.
Right. He was back there running around. That ticked off about 8 seconds because he was out there running around looking for somebody open.
And we're down to 9 seconds to go in today's state quarterfinal game. Chieftains looking to move on to the state semifinals. Can you believe it?
I'm a believer.
I'm a believer. We got the singing in.
Okay.
Somebody wanted singing. That's the closest I'm going to get to it.
And we'll be dancing as soon as we finish here.
Our album will be released sometime in the middle of December, so watch for it in stores. Makes an excellent Christmas gift. Pass down the far sideline. Over the head, we're down to 4 seconds. This is the final play of the game. Chieftains on top, 28-13. Bearcats will have one more play. Mike, you have a couple of special songs on that CD coming out too, don't you?
Oh, yeah, let's see. Which ones? I've got so many that, you know.
What's nice about our CD, you listen to it once, and it's excellent starter for your fireplace. You know, just get that fire going right quick.
Oh,
that plastic just burns really fast and have a roaring fire.
Yeah, we told people we'd really have some stupid stuff to say this time.
We've close to doubled up here in this game. We're down to the last play of the day's game between the Chieftains and the Bearcats. Straight drop back pass. Pass across the middle of the field. It's going to be broken up. Diving catch, but it's incomplete. And that's the end of the ball game. The Friona Chieftains, quarterfinal victors over the Aledo Bearcats. Your final score, the Friona Chieftains 28, Aledo 13. We'll have a couple minutes of commercials. We'll be back up for a wrap-up, and we'll play the flip side of my soon-to-be-released Top 40 hit. This is Friona Chieftains football. Football this week.
Right there. There, ladies and gentlemen, is the trophy. I think he was looking for Coach Morton, and he did find him.
I'd like to thank the Chieftain Squad boosters and Classic Cable and all our fans and sponsors. Be watching and keep your ear